everyone. I thought it was time for a state applique update. I have all of my states that I have appliqued and prepped, got them ready to go, laying out ahead of me. And I thought I would also just share a couple of little things that I found necessary to help it make it easier for me as I was going. So after I started doing some of my states, I thought, okay, let me think about my colors a little more. So I went ahead and just did a rough little drawing of my United States map. I took this map, I held it up over my window. If you have a light box, you can definitely do that, and just did a really rough trace of the United States. And I grabbed my markers because I'm using these colors because I'm using the green, the blues, and the pinks. And I went ahead and just kind of started shading the different colors just to kind of help me not have a whole lot of green or a whole lot of pink or a whole lot of blue in one spot. So this has kind of been helping me decide what color each state is going to be. So that's just a nice little easy way to do that. And I definitely still have the state map that I picked up from the office supply store. And I'll show you in a minute. We'll use that to kind of lay out and puzzle our states together. Now, I did kind of decide, because this is an ongoing project process for us to play together with, I did decide that it is going to be necessary for me to fussy cut and trim all of my appliques. And I'll show you why in just a little bit. But first off, I'm going to show you how to trim. And before I do that, you'll notice that I went ahead and took some Post-it notes and just pinned the name of the state onto each piece, because whenever I was trimming and laying them out, I could get really confused really quickly. Now, Texas, that one just stands out. We know Texas is Texas, and I'm sure you have your state shape memorized. But when you start putting all the other ones together, you may not have any of your shapes, the shapes of the states next to you memorized. So what I did was just did a little Post-it note on the shape and wrote the state name and pinned it to that state. All right, so these I've all trimmed, and I wanted to show you how I trimmed. Now, because we're going to puzzle them together and we want them to be kind of close together, that's why I went ahead and decided that it's going to be necessary for us to fussy cut them closer. So I just went ahead and grabbed my scissors. You want to be very careful not to cut your thread. Don't cut your satin stitching. But I'm going to come in and just trim about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So we're going to just go in and just trim right up close to that satin stitching. Again, don't cut your stitching or you will not be happy. So sometimes when we do projects, some of them are a little more meticulous than others. And I don't mind being meticulous. And to me, this is being a bit meticulous. So this fussy cutting is just an extra little step that I took to create and put all of these states together the way I want to. Now, y'all may decide of another way to assemble your states, but I'm sharing with y'all my process of how I'm going to place those together. All right, so I've got Utah all trimmed up. Now let me go ahead and just place the states together, and then I'll show you an image of that also. All right, I kind of placed a few together, and then I thought, well, let me go ahead and turn my camera on. Y'all might want to watch me do this also. Now doing this, I definitely wanted to keep my little map close at hand so I can just look here and see which state goes where. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Wyoming. Wyoming is going to go underneath Montana, and they're puzzling together really nicely. All right, so underneath Wyoming, let's see, we've got California. Let's put California over to the left here. So we'll slip California right there, and then Nevada. Let's find Nevada. And we're just playing with our puzzle right now. Next, we're going to grab Utah. Now here I put 2 greens right next to each other. That's before I found it necessary for me to do my little map, but that's okay. I'm okay with having 2 greens. And then I'm going to grab Arizona And Arizona is just going to puzzle nicely in there. So if you are a person that likes to put puzzles together, you are going to absolutely love this process. All right, so let's see. Colorado is going to go below Wyoming and to the right of Utah. So we'll place Colorado right here. And we're just trying to get a little picture of what it's all going to look like. All right, so underneath Colorado is New Mexico, and we don't have that one available just yet. But we do have Nebraska, so we're going to grab Nebraska and put Nebraska right up here over Colorado. All right, now I do have Texas, so let's see. Texas is going to sit underneath Colorado. And then I have Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is going to fit right on top of Texas. So I'm going to need to, let me put Oklahoma right there. I know that it's going to fit nicely there. Okay, so those are going together so perfectly. I just love that. All right, so we're missing New Mexico. Hopefully that'll be a state we get next, and then Kansas, and South Dakota, North Dakota, and then we'll be working our way to the east. What do y'all think? I think it's really going to come together really, really just perfectly. It's going to puzzle together so pretty. So now that I've just kind of showed you just a rough little look at what's going on and how they're going to puzzle together just really nicely, I'm going to pick them all up because I'm not ready to fuse them down to anything just yet. So I still have on the back, I have the paper backing, and I have that patch bond underneath it. So see, we'll have our sticky underneath it, and that's going to help us put them all together to our base fabric whenever I get ready to kind of go forward in our little process. Okay, I thought y'all might enjoy just having a little update to our states. And I want to just kind of do a shout out to Michelle. Michelle is in my Facebook group. And if you're not in my Facebook group, I would love for you to join. I'll link my Facebook group down in the description below this video. And I'll also link embroidershop.com's Facebook group, because you definitely are going to want to join their Facebook group also. Because once we get our states together, we're going to want to post some of those pictures that we have of our project in Embroider Shop's Facebook group, and I definitely want y'all to post them in my Facebook group because I want to see them. And again, shout out to Michelle, who has been stitching along with me. If you're in my Facebook group, Michelle posted some of the pictures of her appliques, and she's using some off-white fabric and some gray and pink for her hearts, and it looks so pretty. I really do like it. So thanks, Michelle, for posting. And if any of y'all are stitching along with me, join our Facebook group and post some of the pictures of your states if you haven't, if you would like to, and if you haven't already. And if you're really enjoying seeing some of the things that I've been creating for on my YouTube channel, go ahead and make sure you subscribe and click that like button for me. That really helps me out. And then you'll get set up to be able to see any of my future tutorials. And I've got a lot of fun creative processes in mind to do, different projects coming ahead. So make sure you click subscribe for me and the bell. So at the end of the video, when I was talking to you, I noticed that I positioned Oklahoma in the wrong spot. So I thought before I went ahead and said goodbye on this video, I'd move it around just so you wouldn't think that we had it in the wrong place. So I went ahead and rearranged where Oklahoma and Texas puzzles into Colorado. And later on, when we get them all together, they'll all nestle together really easily because we'll have all the states available. All right, just wanted to tell you that. Goodbye.